this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, home, home. Sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
Welcome Grenada, Carriacou, Pidimonic, the world, the Caribbean. Wherever you are tuned in to Mikey Live, I would like to welcome you. Folks, this is what we call news discussed, not told. And we have so many things to tell you about. We have things that happened here in Grenada, things that happened in St. Lucia, other parts of the world. Of course, we are so excited to let you know about it. Now it's Friday, and we know on Fridays we should not be taking up too much of your time, so we will be as brief as possible. Those of you who are viewing for the first time, welcome, and please come back again. Those of you who are loyal viewers of the program, well, we are always happy to have you with us. Housekeeping matters as usual. We invite you to share the program. Now, sharing the program allows other people to see what's happening here. Yes? So go right ahead. If it's your will, let's go. We hit the share button right there. Yeah, hit the share button right there. All right, and we are on our way. Here are your headlines. Case discontinued against driver who killed schoolboy. We'll tell you about that. Edmund Gilbert a few hours from being set free. Reduced charge for Canadians on drug charges, and that's from the In the Paper segment, and 9 days and counting. and the prisoner is still at large. Valve restrictions in effect, and that is due to depleting water supply. And we're going to tell you about the job vacancy that exists, what's breaking the internet, and in St. Lucia, bus driver shot multiple times during robbery, and some gun-toting youth, school children with gun in St. Lucia. We will tell you about that, folks. We are so excited again. Remember, this is news discussed, not told. When we come back, we will have real news for all your low. So all your brace all yourself. Now the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International. We will be back. And of course, it is also brought to you by WPG10.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Cricket action is back. Grenada National Stadium, the West Indies Championship Regional 4-Day Tournament, Thursday, January 17th to the 20th, 2019, as the Windward Islands Volcanoes take on Jamaica Scorpions, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily at the Grenada National Stadium. Admission $10. Comes to the likes of Devon Smith, Sherman Lewis, Josh Thomas, Roland Cato, amongst the regional stars. Remember, cricket action is back at the Grenada National Stadium, January 17th to the 20th, 2019. Come shout and support your team.
He's hit that one.
Don't miss a ball.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Colors Promotion together with Carib present National Colors Fest.
Everybody safe, girls winding up, keep up.
National Colors Fest, Wednesday, February 6th, the night before the holiday. Moonlight City, we deck off in our national colors and come out to play a mass. And you see, when morning touch, Grenada's best takes the stage. Sheldon Douglas, Boise, Dash,
Wind up, we don't want no
Easy, Jam King, Heine Jam and Sosa, Muddy, Squeezed, Looney Spot and Electrify, Zooty Man and more. Get ready, cause a mass go play. We embrace the ice, green and gold National Colors Fest, 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. General admission $25. Ticket outlets are Gittins, England Dance, Heather Boutique, Shorty's Bar, opposite the terminal, Spice Mobile Quad, Shi's Bar Victoria, Big Lane Bar, Sates, Kwame in River Sally, Daigo Shop Tivoli, Bogoso Barbershop, Kevin and Crush Barbershop Grenville, and St. David's Pharmacy. National Callers Fest, Wednesday, February 6th, Moonlight City.
Grenadians, it's that time again for our colors to be displayed with pride. Time to hit the road with excitement. Time for the red, green and gold. This Saturday, January 19th. It's time for the National Independence Motorcade. Decorate your vehicles, team up, carpool, grab your team, and we're hitting the road. Motorcade assembles at Burns Point in St. George and leaves at 9 a.m. Making our way onto the town of St. George's, onto River Road, up Marisol, down the lane, onto Woodlands, all the way up the eastern side onto Sates, and down the western side. It's a fun-filled and action-packed day of activities with artists performing at various stops. Cook your oil down and let's have a ball of a time this Saturday, January 19th, the National Independence Motorcade, celebrating 45 years under the theme Building Resilience and Enhancing Social and Economic Transformation. And don't forget our National Colors Day, February 6th.
You can't forget. You could forget national color. You telling people to forget national color. Who could forget national? You're mad. And that's why I start to wear my colors. Probably I'll come out with some hot colors from now until independence. You know what I mean? And whatever color I wear in the night, y'all have to wait the next day. You know what I mean? When the boss asks you, what you come in color with that kind of color? Well, Mikey waited the night before. Anyway, welcome back, folks. Representatives from Trinity Recruitment Services, Inc., headquartered in Barbados, agents for the Carnival Cruise Line, Apollo Ship Chandlers, Inc., and the Fleet Pro will be in Grenada on January 28th and 29th, 2019 on a recruitment drive for persons desirous of working in the cruise ship industry. Applicants will be interviewed for placement in the following positions: galley stewards, also cleaners, waiters, and waitresses. Now, the recruitment process will be held from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. each day at the Grenada National Stadium's conference room, VIP 215, Queen's Park, St. George's. Now, interested persons, you are kindly asked to walk with the following documents: an updated resume, full passport photos, police certificate of character, a copy of your updated passport data page, registration fee of US $150, and copies of training and educational certificates. Now, for more information, you can contact the Ministry of Labor during working hours on 440-2532. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor, you can ask for them or any of the subordinates for assistance in that regard. According to my colleagues at WeFM who have sent me this report, Jamaica bounced back nicely today in reply to the Windward's first innings score of 285, only falling short at the end of the day's play by 68 runs to obtain first innings points. Now, we are talking about the match at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. All right, the 4-day Cricket West Indies Championship. Now, the Windward resumed from their overnight total of 263 for 6, but had to contend with the bowling of Jerome Taylor, who got the ball on the move, and they say that the pitch so good that he was able to get the guys out for just about 20 rounds from the overnight total. Now, in reply, Jamaica moved from 49 for 1 at lunch to 212 for 4 at stumps, with Chadwick Walton purposefully in the century zone for Jamaica, 113 not out, and Kenroy Williams 20. The game moves into its third day tomorrow, and we are inviting persons to go out and support. All right, yeah, cricket, lovely cricket. Earlier, now the next story that we told you about earlier on this week, we told you about the death of a fifth form student, and now we are hearing from officials. All right, now the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs extends heartfelt condolence to the family, friends and members of the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, the SDCSS, on the death of the late Rashid Collins. Now, Rashid, a Form 5 student of the St. David's School, died on Wednesday, January 16, 2019 at the General Hospital, they say, after a brief illness. Now, during the course of the week, the ministry provided counseling intervention services to staff and students of the Westerhall Secondary School, and representatives from the ministry will also visit Rashid's family in the upcoming week. May Rashid rest in eternal peace, and his family and friends find comfort during this challenging time. And that's a press release I'm actually reading verbatim from the ministry. Earlier, according to the National Water and Sewage Authority, our water supply is somewhat depleting due to the weather. So they have implemented valve restriction. All right, Les Avocat is Nawasa's first water system to be valve regulated as the island continues to grapple with the effects of the dry season. Now, Les Avocat has recorded a 20% reduction in the dam levels, and effective Thursday, January 17, serving consumers will have their water interrupted as of 9 p.m. So as of now to 5 a.m. daily until further notice. All right, now the schedule is solely based on the current water levels, and it is expected to change without prior notice depending on the availability of the supply. Now, consumers, you are encouraged to collect and store water for a 3-day period, which is about 35 gallons of water per person per day. All right, and they're also advising you to manage your supply, taking into consideration the needs of your family members and your pets. All right, folks. Here are the areas. Well, that's the actual dam, and I should have a list of the areas, all right, that are affected. Beirut, Minaka, Windsor Forest, Apsley, Pedmota, Marion, St. Paul's, Richmond Hill, Monjaloo, Laborie, Hopevale, Creighton. All right, and remember, it is from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily until further notice. Okay, folks, I am seeing a slight inconsistency. Let me just verify this. I'm just picking up a slight inconsistency. Okay, yes, it may be a mistake in one of the things, because it's saying from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily on the actual report from NAWASA. But on this, again, which is stamped by NAWASA, it is saying from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. on this piece of graphic here, right? So these are two different times. So I'll verify. I want to believe, you know, let me not say what I believe, okay? I will get verification on that for you, because it is saying two different times. Although one says 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., the other says 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. So we will verify that. I'm just actually picking that up as I read it for you now, all right, guys? So we will sort that out for you. That small thing, I'll actually post it on the wall on my page once I get confirmation on that. All right, the next story that we will be giving you here, folks, and by the way, the both information comes from NAWASA. All right, the next thing I have to tell all you about, boy, I think it's one of the biggest stories for us here for Grenada right now. One of the biggest stories. It has been revealed that Edmund Gilbert will be released from prison soon. Once a prominent church leader, now in prison, Edmund Gilbert will be released after serving an 18-year sentence at Her Majesty's prison, and that was for the death of a 15-year-old girl, Robbie and Jeremiah. I know you all remember that one. Huh? Y'all remember that case? Right. So that's the case I'm talking about. So he will be out tomorrow, say between about 6 and 9. So I go in and stake out about 5 in the morning, You know what I mean? Go with a little coffee and thing. You know what I mean? And put on my camera. Cock up my foot on the dashboard. And let the camera roll. You know, because we had to tell the story. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's small thing. Anyway, so yes. No, let's get serious on that serious story. Now, the girl's strangled body was dumped in the bushes above the Coast Guard base that's in True Blue in St. George's. Huh? I think it was found on February 1st of that year. And according to sources, they received an anonymous call, the authorities, reporting the killing. You understand? And when the police and thing do their investigation and thing, yes. Huh? Now Gilbert, back then, would have had the death penalty slapped on him by a Vincentian judge who was doing a little stint in Grenada for the death of that teenager. Eh? So it was a death sentence he got, you know. Now attorney Anselm Clouden was able to successfully appeal the death sentence handed down to him, and then it was later reduced to 18 years imprisonment in 2006 by Justice Kenneth Benjamin. Now, it was alleged that Robian was raped by the then pastor. However, he was not charged in connection to the abuse allegations, but the information was used to put him behind bars for years. So, this is what's going to happen. He's going to come out. There's been a lot of critics as to why. The attorney said a month of time. You know what I mean? There are also talks that he is ailing. He is sick. Not doing too well. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But let's see. If you checked social media today, you would realize the back and forth. A lot of people talking about miscarriage of justice and a lot of things. I don't have an opinion on the matter. I'm just saying a lot of comments on social media today by some prominent persons in society having differences of opinion about this matter. You know? Anyway. We have a segment that we usually do, and we call it the In the Paper segment. So we have a new today article that we want to go through. You understand? It says here that reduced charge for Canadians on drug charges. 2 Canadian nationals who were nabbed at the Maurice Bishop International Airport with $1 million worth of cocaine. You all remember that high-profile case, you know? Last October, may have the indictable drug trafficking charge slapped on them reduced to a lesser summary offense. That's according to Attorney at Law Anselm Clouden, who made the revelation when the matter came up at the St. George's No. 2 Magistrates Court before Magistrate Tahira Jelino last week, Thursday. Clouden has been retained to assist one of the accused persons, Romario Washington Campbell, a 23-year-old unemployed male from Ajax in Ontario, Canada, while his colleague, Attorney at Law Arlie Gill, is providing representation for the co-accused Renee Alicia Ali, 24, and she is a waitress from Ontario, Canada. Attorney Clouden informed the court that he has had successful discussions with the Corporal of Police, Kerry Swan, who was initially prosecuting the case, and has agreed to reduce the indictable charge against the Canadians who have been on remand at the Richmond Hill prison since their arrest last year. However, Police Constable Bing Joseph, who's held papers for Corporal Swan last Thursday, indicated to the court that he had no knowledge of the information. Attorney Clouden then suggested that he speak to his seniors in that regard. Now, we don't want to read the entire story for you, just the gist of the story, so that all they could get an idea of what's in the papers, you know what I mean? And there are some other papers. Well, woman charged for stealing, winning lotto ticket. But me reading that story, me showing no face in that story, because a woman next thing I want to vibe the woman and then I'm gonna read that story and the woman next thing the place mash up, you know what I mean? Next thing the woman like me and I don't know, and then I'm gonna read that story and put a picture and then kind of business and then thing mash up. Nah, I ain't taking any kind of chance, boy. I don't mashing up me future, so you think I stupid? I don't pick your battles wise there. Me don't read no story about nobody, thieving nothing lot. I read that already. Escape prisoner still at large. We read that already. Jado! Anyway, let's get on to some serious business. Let me stop playing. Audio. No, let me stop playing. A serious matter. You know what I mean? I go play stupid and put gravel in my rice. I don't teach me. Mother teach me better than that. Anyway, audio. No, serious now. Case dismissed against driver who killed schoolboy. Hold on, let me put on the papers a while because that's a serious case. You all remember that incident where a schoolboy was killed in Calivini in 2017? Come on, don't tell me you all didn't remember. We did a long live and all that. You guys remember that? And if you would permit me, I would like to, if you would permit me, to refresh your memory about this case. It involved a young man by the name of Dante Felix. I hope you guys remember this. Don't tell me you all didn't remember. Right? This is a clip. Dante Felix of Paradise in St. Andrew, student of the Westerhall Secondary School. Remember, he was killed on Friday, 28th April 2017 at the age of 13. And in refreshing your memory, I will say that he was struck by a motor vehicle driven by a 22-year-old at the time, Andrew Harding. Today we are learning that the man who was charged for that death is now a free man, as the case has been discontinued on instructions by the Director of Public Prosecutions, according to media reports. According to media reports, no reason was given for that decision. All right? You guys will remember that Harding was charged with causing death by dangerous driving weeks after the incident occurred. And there were a lot of media outcry, and the family was saying that they find nothing was happening, and so on, so on, so. This, my friends, doesn't necessarily need to be the end of the case, as the family can now pursue a civil case against, if they so choose, all right, against the person who was charged for the schoolboy's death. All right, so that is actually what we are learning tonight. Okay, now we did not independently research this, but received the data from sister station. All right, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? The next story that we have to tell you about. It's 9 days and counting, and still the prisoner, the most popular prisoner in Grenada, is still at large. We're talking about Hayden Phillip. The authorities, as we understand it, are yet to catch up with him. Now, concerns have been expressed as to just how secure the walls of the prisons are. Now, we had Fimba Charles, sir, Assistant Superintendent of the prisons, explained yesterday to the media the challenges that they have to deal with when it comes to the different personalities at the prison. He went on to explain that the prison affords its inmates the opportunity to rehabilitate and to change. And in the process of rehabilitation and change, you may not fully know the intention of those who are involved in that process.
We must understand that at the prison a lot is being done to really create that change or the opportunity for persons to have that change. We have the rehab program. You know, one could talk about security, but security by itself just cannot handle security. So at the prison we look at rehabs, and we would have had, it have 5 components which we talk about: counseling, that is to help an aspect. We talk about skills that can equip you to, we know the job market outside there. You have academics, you have sports, and you have religion. So when you look at the 5 components, it covers up almost the whole aspect of the man. And when we do that at the prison, and we try to involve as much prisoners, inmates as possible. And then in the midst, as the inspector was talking of that, you have guys who have the intent, and they kind of show that, and you can't profile them properly enough, and you get them involved for the early part of the programs. They are in it, and then you tend to believe that they really get into them, so that they're almost prepared for when on the release. And then you find in the midst of that, one decide, well, maybe within his time it was all about frustration, and he take the opportunity, maybe one lapse in security, and he make a dash for it, and he have situations like that.
Thank you very much, sir, for that explanation. All right, so that's an explanation he offered as to sometimes the dynamics that they have to deal with on a daily basis at Her Majesty's prisons. By the way, that name had to change. Her Majesty, listen, means celebrating no more independence, none. This is my last, in fact, 45, and I'm done. No more Her Majesty's prisons. No more. Listen, I read in a document researching Edmund Gilbert's case, and the Lord this and Lord, and we're not talking about the Father, the Heavenly Father, and we're talking about the worship and the this and the majesty and the. I'm like, hey, what are we talking about here? You know, there are so many things. I mean, come on. It's like somebody telling you you're free, but you are in shackles. You're free to go, but there's a lock on the door. You're free to go, but you don't have the keys to that door. It's not making sense, people. We have to stop when we stop fooling ourselves. Because if we are fully an independent nation, well then, come on, we are a sovereign state. So let's stop acting like it and stop the foolishness. You know what I mean? Simple. Plain talk, bad manners. Stop the foolishness. Let's really liberate ourselves. And if we are going to have anyone who are going to be entitled to that sort of, what should I say, hold, that sort of authority on our leadership, then it must come with a cost. Yeah? You know what I mean? Yeah, then we have to be sucking some real money and thing. You know what I mean? And we don't know poor people because they are real spend our money. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me leave that talk. Earlier, when it's not your time, it's not your time. Nothing happens before it's time. Whoa, watch a ninja move. You telling me? Hold on, let's go back. Let's rewind. Let's go again. Watch this. Woo! Did you see that, people? When it's not your time, it's not your time. You know what I mean? Help him up. Good. That we talk all to give him a clap. Give them a clap. You can't make this kind of thing up. You can't make that up. You mad? This is what's breaking the internet, people. Millions of views. Millions. Millions, people. Because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Do you see that? Listen, I could watch it 100 times. Watch it 100 times. People, And you must learn a lesson from what's on your screen. No, Suzette, that's not luck. No, Suzette, take back your talk, because that's not luck. That could never be luck, Suzette. You're mad? Take back your talk. Oh, he's lucky. He's not lucky. That's not luck. You can't get it. No, Suzette, don't get it wrong. That's not luck, sweetheart. Anything else but luck. Never see that yet. Help him up again. Folks, give it a clap. You know what I mean? That is something you don't see every day. You live to see another day, partner. Thank God. It is not your time. When it's not your time, it is not your time. In St. Lucia, a bus driver lives to tell the tale. He was robbed at gunpoint, shot multiple times, and the man still had the courage to talk to the media about his near-death experience at the hands of masked men who probably just wanted a few dollars for whatever purpose, God knows.
Did you sleep last night?
No, I could not, man. I could not sleep last night.
Ignatius Jean-Baptiste is alive. He was shot 3 times by who he described to News Force were 3 men who concealed their faces as they accosted him while on his way home in New Village.
3 masked men just started shooting at me, no ask me no question. It wasn't nothing like pass it or anything. It's just that gunshot is just ringing in my legs, you know.
The lighting in that part of the New Village neighborhood is poor. Jean-Baptiste says the robbers pounced on him along the narrow footpath leading up to his home sometime after 7 p.m. on January 16th.
One put his foot up. When I fall down, put his foot up to my fruits. 2 others come and switch me down, take what I had in my pocket, and then it disappeared.
The potentially life-threatening ordeal was over within a few minutes. The attackers disappeared in the darkness and left their victim for dead. You're shot. You're lying on the ground. Do you remember who called for help and what was going through your mind at that time?
Well, nothing wasn't going through my head because there was a foot up to my fruit.
After they left?
After they left, well, I had to be shouting, calling, shouting for help.
Do you remember who came to help you?
No, well, nobody came. I had to get up myself and run a little higher, get myself to my cousin's house. You understand? Still feeling well, the fellas must be around, you know, just get up and run.
Bleeding profusely from multiple gunshot wounds, the middle-aged man still managed to make his way home. Emergency calls were made. Robbed of more than $800 and unable to ply his trade, financial uncertainty only to be compounded by medical expenses is the new reality for Ignatius Jean-Baptiste and those he supports.
My license got lost, my wallet got lost. I had about $900 in my wallet, and that got lost too. It's hard, and I have a good couple friends that will maybe help me along, you know, the way or something. I know my colleagues, because I haven't been a bad bus driver, and I have some colleagues that maybe will help me along the way, you know. So
Ignatius Jean-Baptiste told News Force he had previously fallen victim to a similar robbery attempt in the same area. Police have launched an investigation. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
And speaking of police launching an investigation, as part of stepped-up efforts by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to clamp down on crime, law enforcement officers have their targets set on known hotspots in pursuit of criminal suspects and leads that could can crack ongoing investigations. They were seen out in the communities with guns and so on, because they mean business. So several officers walking into the communities with guns drawn and so as they pursue suspects.
A 5-member squad attached to the Marsha police station suited up and proceeded on another patrol in Castries East on January 17th. High-powered weapons, including shotguns and automatic rifles at their sides, they moved through dense neighborhoods and negotiated narrow footpaths. The target: pursue criminal suspects linked to recent shootings and homicides. 4 officers dismounted in Pave and continued on foot to the outskirts of Black Malay, where a parked and unlocked motor vehicle piqued their interest. After a brief search, the officers moved on through a maze of walkways and alleys before continuing their operation in the Marsha Boulevard. One house was singled out. An informal interrogation with a resident by the lead officer produced intel that may have led to a possible breakthrough. 4 homicides were recorded in Castries East in 2018. The most recent occurred in December when a 74-year-old was killed by a stray bullet during a shooting on Marsha Road. Police Chief Severin Morchery's directives for more boots on the ground is evident not only in Castries East but along known hotspots in the capital where inner-city neighborhoods have been under siege by deadly turf wars. The police operation ended after the patrol in the Marsha Boulevard. New intel may have been recovered, which could lead to arrests and potential breakthroughs in unsolved criminal investigations. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Rihani. And just before we leave St. Lucia alone, a viral video has emerged on social media which appears to depict 2 teen-aged male secondary school students in possession of a small arsenal of high-powered guns. And of course, we had Rihani and his crew again taking a look into that, because this one is rather interesting. We are talking about school-aged children with guns, or what appears to be guns, and recording it.
Kids with guns. Secondary school students seen posing in a picture with smiles and high-caliber weapons has taken social media by storm. The image, now viral on social media, was reportedly taken months prior. News Force has learned the armed teen duo was subsequently brought in for questioning by law enforcement officers as part of an active investigation to recover the weapons. Searches have been conducted at various locations in the Dennery and Monrepo communities. News Force can confirm a police officer is the mother of one of the gun-toting teenagers. Firearm and gun-related crime continues to be a sore point for police and national security officials. Illegal guns have been linked to various fatal shootings and has stricken inner-city communities. By July in 2018, police logged 90 firearm offenses, which included 33 assaults and 22 cases of illegal possession. Guns were linked to more than half of all homicides. To date, police have not recovered the guns shown in the viral photo. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
All right, thank you very much, Rihani. And folks, remember, these incidents are St. Lucia, all right? Once you see HTS News Force label, these incidents we're talking about happened in St. Lucia, just for the avoidance of doubt. Folks, we are continuing right here on Mikey Live. And for those of you who have not yet shared the program, I want to invite you to do so. Folks, share the business. Because when you share the business, that's how other people gets to see what's happening on here. All right, there's something else that I have to tell you about, right? There was an accident, boy. There was an accident in, where was it, boy? In Cherry Hill this morning. Not too bad, you know. So we don't have time, so we are not going to show you that right now, okay? Because yeah, we don't have much time. What else do I have to tell you, boy? I have yes, we have the national report coming up for you. We also have to invite you guys to check out our website. That's mikeylive.com. Folks, we will have a lot of the stories that you find that is read on the program. You will find it on our website, mikeylive.com. Speaking of website, the agriculturalnetwork.com. That's THEAGRICULTURL network.com. All right. It's an agriculture community of persons who are farmers and that sort, and you can network with each other on that website, sell products, you can buy products, yeah, you can list your business there as a farmer, if you're in the agro-processing business and so on, industry, sorry, you can list your items and so on there so that you can have it purchased by persons who visit the site and so on. It's a very interesting site. I want to invite you to check it out right now. All right, folks, what we do, we take a quick break, and when we come back, people, hear what's going on. When we come back, we would go into the national report.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
We mean business and we talk business.
I wanted to go back to when it started.
And we let women in business tell their own stories and inspire others.
But I'm very excited about 2019.
I am Abigail Long, and join me right here for Abby's Power Lunch.
You never looked at a piece of paper. This was just a beautiful conversation.
We talk to women of the Caribbean who make things happen.
I know, let's not just preach it, let's practice it, and it starts from household.
Grenadians, it's that time again for our colors to be displayed with pride. Time to hit the road with excitement. Time for the red, green and gold. This Saturday, January 19th. It's time for the National Independence Motorcade. Decorate your vehicles, team up, carpool, grab your team, and we're hitting the road. Motorcade assembles at Burns Point in St. George and leaves at 9 a.m. Making our way onto the Tango St. George's, onto River Road, up Marisol, down the lane, onto Woodlands, all the way up the eastern side onto Sates, and down the western side. It's a fun-filled and action-packed day of activities with artists performing at various stops. Cook your oil down and let's have a ball of a time this Saturday, January 19th, the National Independence Motorcade, celebrating 45 years under the theme Building Resilience and Enhancing Social and Economic Transformation. And don't forget our National Colors Day, February 6th.
And folks, what we have for you right now is the National Report.
Grenada moving to take advantage of GEF funding for environmental projects. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, January 18th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada is gearing up to take advantage of funding available for environmental projects under the Global Environment Facility GEF 2019. GCF Caribbean constituency member countries spent the last 2 days in Grenada discussing and analyzing past, ongoing and future projects and developing policies and programs under the fund. The facility focuses on 3 main areas: land degradation, climate change and biodiversity. Grenada currently has more than 30 projects that are funded by GEF. Titus Antwine, representative of the Economic and Technical Cooperation Department in the Ministry of Finance, says Grenada is well poised to take advantage of funding for projects in 2019.
Grenada is well engaged with the GEF, with the GEF facility, but there's always room for improvement. So we would definitely come out of this meeting re-energized, reinvigorated to even do more than we are currently doing, to access even more funding, enhance the rate of implementation for the projects, etc. So we have a few projects in the pipeline. Some of the regional projects that Grenada is going to participate in are going to be sponsored by GEF, as well as national projects that's going to be sponsored. The project's going to be along 3 lines, three thematic areas basically. We'll be looking at land degradation, we'll be looking at biodiversity and climate change. These 3 areas primarily is where the projects will emanate from for 2019. Antwine
says under the upcoming 7th cycle, Grenada will propose more community-based programs and projects.
We are now in the, we just have what you call the 7th cycle. So GEF 7 is currently being programmed. So we want to be we want to have an early start to Jeff 7. We also have, because it's just been replenished by the donors and so on, which is developed countries primarily, with some developing countries also. We have the Jeff Small grants as well, which is a key component of the Jeff in terms of getting projects in the communities, the community-based organizations and so on, benefiting from funding to do work, environmental climate change work at the community level.
Haiti was appointed the new chair of the Caribbean Constituency Council on Thursday, taking over from Grenada after serving for 2 years. Grenada is moving to develop a national anti-childhood obesity action plan that will address the epidemic of obesity among the country's child and adolescent population. The National Non-Communicable Chronic Disease Commission has organized a one-day national consultation targeting all sectors of society, to be held at the National Stadium Hospitality Center on Thursday, January 24th from 8:30 a.m. Statistics from the World Health Organization shows that Grenada is suffering a similar fate to the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, where the rates of overweight and obesity in children aged 0 to 4 years doubled from 7.4% to 14.8% between the year 2000 and 2010. Dr. Sonia Nixon is the head of the Anti-Childhood Obesity Consultation Planning Committee. She says there must be a change in the method of operation to ensure children are healthy.
Children should be exercising 30 minutes a day. How many of us do that? How many parents actually ensures that? So this is really looking at it and see how we can come with a plan, getting everybody to bring their ideas to the fore from their points of view and coming up, because we do have some guidelines, but how does Grenada approach this problem of obesity that we have among our children?
The decision by the National Chronic Disease Commission has been motivated by the experiences and information shared at a meeting in Jamaica last year, which spoke to the alarming rates of obesity in children and adolescents in the region and worldwide. Scientific evidence points to a direct link between obesity and the onset of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and cancer.
We are looking at our needs. The whole region is moving in that direction. So we're keeping together as part of our CARICOM, as part of the world, a part of the region. But this is our drive to make sure that our people are protected and using guidelines that PAHO has worked for us, but let us make it very Grenadian.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The Grenada government is committed to improving the lives of citizens. Government announces early payment of January salaries for public officers.
Traditionally, government would make payments to public officers on the second to last day of the month. In this case, for January 2019, we have decided to make early payments to public officers on the 21st of this month. This has not been done in over a decade.
Public officers to get a 4% salary increase.
You would recall that the government would have negotiated with the trade unions for a 10% increase for public officers over a 3-year period. 2017, 3%, 2018, 3%, and 2019, 4%. We would kick off the 4% payment, which is to the tune of $6.7 million on January 21st, 2019.
January salaries to include increments.
Every year, public officers move incrementally in their pay and grade scale. This year, we are paying increments to the tune of $3.6 million, and that would also be included in the January 21st payment.
Will pensioners also benefit?
Pensioners' income is indexed to the salary increases of the public officers. So the 4% increase that public officers is due for 2019, pensioners would also benefit from that 4% increase.
Your government at work, delivering on promises made.
Continuing the news, motorists will have to pay just a few cents more at the pump as of Friday, January 18th. The price of gasoline now costs $14.70 per gallon, just 3 cents more than the previous price of $14.67. Diesel costs just 1 cent more at $15.02 and kerosene 2 cents more at $9.41. The 20-pound cylinder of gas remains at the current price of $40. Over in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the price of gasoline also experienced experienced a 3-cent increase. And finally, the National Grenada Brain Bee Challenge, which proudly had one of its finalists, Giovanni de Gans, placed second in the 2018 International Final in Berlin, is currently hosting the 2018-2019 round of the Grenada Brain Bee Challenge. Details from Annette Moore.
The zonal competition got off to a great start on January 9th at the J.W. Fletcher Memorial Catholic School, with 6 schools participating in the event, including the J.W. Fletcher Memorial Catholic Secondary, the Grenada Boys Secondary School, Wester Hall Secondary, Presentation Brothers College, Hillsborough Secondary, and Westmoreland Secondary School.
This year marked 10 years since Brain Bee has started in Grenada. So let's give ourselves a big applause.
The National Brain Bee competition is based on neuroscience, and questions posed relate to the brain, its functions, and more.
To what stimulus does the somatic nervous system respond to?
Touch.
That is correct. Which part of the brain regulates timing of movement? The cerebellum. That is correct. What is the name of the nerve which leads from the ear to the brain? Auditory nerve. That is correct.
The zonal competition consists of 2 phases of quizzing. All material used for the questions are based on content from the Brain Facts book used by participants for their preparation. The top 3 emerging from the competition were Nikesh Andal of Wester Hall Secondary School in 3rd place, Giovanni Thomas of J.W. Fletcher Memorial Catholic School in 2nd, and Rakiba Caton Bain of Westmoreland Secondary in 1st position.
Well, the experience was it was good, and I believe I've reached here because I've prayed to Him daily.
A lot of euphoria. And for those who don't know what that means, it basically means I'm happy and excited. Very, very excited. A lot of the questions were a bit more easier than I thought it would have been. So I think I over-prepared for the competition, although I did get some questions wrong and not really answer within the time frame.
I believe that the competition is very competitive. I could tell that every student put their every all into it, and it has been a joy to participate.
This year, 6 participants instead of 3 advanced to the finals. Other schools advancing are the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the Presentation Brothers College, and Hillsborough Secondary School in Carriacou. All students involved were presented with certificates of participation, and those moving forward were given additional awards. The chief judge is Dr. Karen Blackman, and the quizmaster of almost 5 years is Dr. Gabrielle Walcott-Bedeau.
Firstly, I think the students had an excellent grasp of the general concepts. I think they were able to hold their own in terms of they knew what the questions were asking. What I think will give them the edge now is the details, the specific details. That is where they'll need to brush up on a little bit more as the competition gets a little bit more fierce.
This year also marks Carriacou's re-emergence into the Brain Bee competition. Hillsborough Secondary's Brain Bee coach, herself a past participant, was excited about their re-entry.
We found it fitting to try to reintegrate ourselves back in a competition of this caliber. We think that the students will learn quite a bit from it. They have already been saying that the knowledge that they have been gathering through studying already helps them in the sciences, in biology in particular.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Leslie Ann, Annette, and everyone else who was a part of the National Report. And that's as far as we can take you for tonight as well. We did promise that we're gonna let you out early, and so we are letting you out early. 5 minutes earlier is still early, all right? Why not just say hello to some people before I leave, all right? We want to say hello to my mom, to Dora, to Paul, to Queenie, to Kizzy, to Ezran, to Rayban, to Sharon. We also have with us Melly, Ala. We have with us Veronica. Crispin is with us as well, and Chiba is with us as well. Patsy and Rachel is with us tonight, and Samantha with us. Kireen is with us as well. All right, Zaka, you're always there. Naomi, and my sister Lintona is with us as well. Dora, all right, and who else is with us now? Hazel, We want to say hello to Hazel as well. All right, guys. So, Angel, I see you there as well, Angel. All right. Suzette, yes. Yes, early. 2 minutes early, still early. Rita and Queenie, blessings, all right? And Wayne George, blessings. 2 minutes early, still early. Early is early. All right, Charlene. Yes, and Spice Girl Eunice is with us as well. And Niva. All right. Happy birthday in advance to Melly. God bless you, all right, Kizzy. And Curtis, big up, Curtis. Hey, Curtis, you got back your star, man. I see you got back your star. Big up. And Jennifer is with us as well. All right. And Clistilda. Guys, I got to go. All right. Rolanda is with us as well. And Helene is with us as well, all right. Big up to you guys. And God bless you. Have yourselves a great weekend. And we're going to come back and give you a nice program on Monday, God's willing. If there's other reasons for us to be back, of course, we will be. All right. God bless you guys and have a nice weekend. In 5, big up, and 4, 3, 2, 1. And we all say, Ja, no. And oh, by the way, some people say that I need to say hi to them. Those of you who are Ebony, big up on WPG10 viewing and on YouTube as well. We want to say thank you for viewing. God bless you. Have a great weekend.